Hello everyone and welcome to another tutorial with Zenphi. Today we're going to be going over how you can build a very simple flow to automate the process of classifying and extracting data from documents. This is going to be a huge time saver for a lot of your different departments, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first step to any Zenphi flow is to set up your trigger, which in Zenphi is the action that starts your flow. For this example, we're using the Google Drive trigger, meaning it's going to start the flow whenever a file is added to a specific folder. So once you set up your connection by clicking on the plus icon here, you're going to be able to select which folder you want to monitor by clicking on the Google Drive icon. Essentially what this means is you're going to be able to select a folder where you can drop the files that you wish to classify and then extract data from. Now the first step is going to be to classify the document using AI. So we're going to be using Gemini. This action is called Generate Text with Gemini. All you have to do is add your system instructions as well as your prompt. The system instructions will set the tone as to how you wish to respond. You can guide its response. For example, here we're indicating that they're a handy document classifier. And if you want to make this more exact, make sure you mention to AI exactly what types of documents it may receive. That way it doesn't have to guess, it can simply choose based on its options. In the prompt, I'm indicating that I wanted to classify the type of document. Now to ensure that we're actually analyzing the file, we're going to make sure we add it by clicking on the token picker or chain icon and adding the content of the file from our trigger. You can easily enable JSON by turning on this style here. Now to ensure that you're appropriately parsing the data that is coming from AI, we're going to use convert JSON to object. You'll see that we follow this criteria as well once we extract the data. And now that we have the appropriate document classification, we want to make sure we follow the branch for that type of document. To do that, we're going to use our switch by value action. The input is going to be the parsed response for the document type. And in each one of these branches, we're going to add the different options. So as we indicated to Gemini, the file could be a purchase order, an invoice, or a quote. So just make sure these match up to the options that you're giving Gemini. And then if you take a look, each branch contains the exact same actions. So this first one is to be able to extract the purchase order fields, and essentially what we're going to be modifying in each branch is the prompt, the type of fields that we want to extract. Depending on the document, we're going to want to extract different information, but essentially the process will be the exact same. So just repeat that for each one of your branches. Now for this example, I have created a spreadsheet within Google Sheets with different sheets depending on the type of document. So essentially each branch is going to be in charge of adding the appropriate information to the correct sheet. So here you can select, for example, the purchase order sheet, and then here we're selecting the invoice sheet, and each one has its appropriate headers. Keep in mind with Zenphi, you can customize the process. So if after this, maybe you want to assign a task to someone, maybe notify them via Slack, send them a text message, or even send a message through Google Chat, you're able to do that because you're able to customize the process and involve humans at any point in the process to make sure that everything is correct. Now let's go ahead and do a test run. I'll be using this invoice as an example. And here we have the flow. It has initiated, so the first step is going to be to classify the document. We can see that it has done that already. And now it's extracting the fields from the invoice, so it detected the appropriate document type, and now it has added it to the sheet. So let's go ahead and move over to our spreadsheet. We're going to go to our invoices page, and as we can see, it added it here. And we can compare it with the actual document and make sure that everything looks okay. And yep, everything is working perfectly. And just like that, we have created a very simple flow that's going to classify and extract data from your documents. This is helpful for all departments. It's going to save a ton of time. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next tutorial.